Welcome back to the shooting channel, and today we've come into the Oxford Gun Company shop, which I know we don't normally do stuff in a shop, but on this specific episode I'm going to try and teach you how to dress appropriately for a traditional English game shooting day. On this specific thing, I know obviously in my comment, my suggestion would be is if you do want to look at taking up game shooting, go and find your local shooting school that has got a shop like this, that has got plenty of guns, plenty of clothing, instructors that know how to teach you how to go game shooting. If you go and find your local shooting school, not your local gun shop, if you find your local shooting school that has got gun shop, shooting school, clothing shop, all under one roof, and you book in a session and say, I want to learn to shoot, but I also want to learn how to dress appropriately on a game shooting day, so you don't stick out like a sore thumb. Because a lot of people say, oh, I just wear anything, but to be honest, when you're going game shooting, it's about dressing up. It's about like going to the theatre, and part of the day is dressing up, putting your breeks on, putting your correct tweed on, putting your shirt on, putting your tie on. I've got in the Oxford Gun Company shop, they've got two dummies. They've got the lady and they've got the gent. And you've got all sorts of different values of clothing. Find yourself a shooting school that's got 4 or 5 different brands, like Oxford Gun Company gun shop and shooting school has got that. They've got Hogs and Sealand, which is the lower end cost wise. They've got the mid range, which is Allen Payne, and then they've got the more expensive range, which is Laxon and Harkila. And the reason why you want to find yourself a shooting school, not necessarily a gun shop, or not buying it online, is because they've got the full range. They've also got the expertise to help you get dressed and teach you how to shoot a basic driven pheasant. Now, depending on what game day you're going on, if you're going on a really expensive top end game shooting day down in Devon or Scotland or Wales, then you want to be full booted and suited in full matching tweed. If you're going on an average day or a farm shoot, then potentially a pair of moleskin trousers or breeks, and just like an inexpensive waistcoat, like something like that. In my eyes, I personally prefer tweed on any day. I don't actually like matching tweed because you look like you've literally just walked out of a shop. I do like to have a little bit of difference, but you can have either. So you can have the matching tweed, or you can pick and mix if you like the waistcoat or a different coat or breeks. And that is what we're going to do in this film, is we're going to go through and we're going to show you what you need for your next game day. Any comments on this? It'd be really interesting to comment below. If you want any information, or if you ever wanted to take up game shooting, then comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Game shooting, as my father used to say, it's a bit like going to the theatre. It's like dressing up. It's not just about going out and slaughtering hundreds of birds. It's going out with a group of friends of 8 or 9 guns and going out and enjoying the day and shooting. If you're going on a 150, 200 bird day, shooting a few days, it's not about slaughtering everything on with the first peg, making the day last and going out and enjoying it, and then at the end of the day, taking a brace home and eating what you've shot. And that is really what we need to educate people what we do. We're not just there to slaughter everything in the sky. So you dress up and you drive to the shoot, you go there, you meet your friends, you have your bacon sandwiches, you have your breakfast first, you go out in the gun bus or in your car in your four-wheel drive, and you go there and you shoot. It's not, a lot of people say game shooting is a snob sport. It doesn't have to be. There is some nice little days out there for sort of between £600, £800, £1,000. You can go there in a nice day out. Costs you just as much to go on a day out doing sailing, going to golf, anything like that. So this is what we're trying to get across on this, is it's about the day out. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the breeks of what we need. So I'm just going to walk up to the breeks, and we're going to look at what breeks we need. So I'm going to take an Allen Payne set of breeks. This is a basic Allen Payne set of breeks. So if you look, the breeks actually go onto you and they come down to the knee, and then your socks go here and your wellies go over the sock. And that is the Allen Payne Tweed breeks. Then you've got the Hogs, which is the slightly inexpensive. And again, the difference between the expensive ones is lining, branding, things like that. So again, don't be afraid to go for the slightly inexpensive stuff if you can't afford. This is where you need to set yourself a budget and walk into your shooting school with a budget. Most decent shooting schools will help you, and they have got that stock in there to give you what you want at your affordable price of what you can afford. So this is the Hogs breeks. Then you have got the Harkelia breeks, and again, this specific one is lined inside. And then you've got the Laxon breeks there, again lined inside. The Allen Payne ones are also, you can get lined ones as well. Now I'm going to look at the waistcoats. Now this is a specific bit of kit that you will use for pretty much everything, not just going on a game day. This is the bit of kit that you will use on your clay shooting playground, unless you want to be an out and out clay shooter, which you will have something like this. But that is your game shooting one. But your game shooting one, if you're going for your lesson at your local shooting school, you can use it there. If you're going for a pay and play, you'll use this all round the year. So this is the thing that will get the most use. And then your big coat. Again, this is something that you will get use out of in the winter, especially when it's cold. Maybe not in the summer, because a nice big thick tweed coat is probably a bit hot in the summer. So this is something that you can get a little bit more use out of more the winter comes. This is your slightly inexpensive one. So again, various different price brackets. And that is your Laxon. Again, if you particularly don't like tweed, you can have something like that, which is a bit more greeny. I'm going to be honest, if you are new to game shooting, I personally think you are better off to wear tweed. I just think it's a bit more respectful. That is traditionally what everyone wears. Personally, I think you're better off to wear it. So things like Laxon do a nice coat there. These are the sort of things you're going to wear on the playground in the summer, that sort of thing. But tweed, I think. And you have got all this in ladies as well, which we will show you as you walk on. Again, socks and garters. I will show you what garters do at a later date. That is quite an important thing. And then the obvious. Personally, a lot of people now have started wearing ankle boots, but personally I prefer these type of wellies. My suggestion would be chameau or eagle wellies. They come here and then this tuff goes over the top of the welly. It looks smart. I'm going to be honest, I would wear breeks, whether it's a 50 bird day or whether it's a 250 bird day. They are so much more comfortable to wear than moleskin trousers. And then a nice v-neck jumper or something like that, just to finish it off. with your shirt. And then I would put on a tie, which is exactly what is on these. I'd put a tie on to finish off, and then that is exactly what you are supposed to look like when you go game shooting. And then the other thing, obviously a lot of people wear a tweed hat, don't really need to wear a baseball cap when you're going game shooting. A nice tweed flat cap or a hat like that. And that is pretty much what you are expected to wear when you go game shooting. The only other thing you may want to add to your collection is a waistcoat like that. And the reason why this is something you add is once you finish and you go into dinner or you go in for lunch, you wouldn't necessarily wear your coat or your waistcoat. You would take your waistcoat off, you would wear your jumper, and you would put this on with your shirt and your tie and your jumper underneath. So you still look smart, but you've taken your shooting waistcoat off. So something like that, which is an Allen Payne fleece, a gilet they call it. So this is my breeks, my waistcoat, my hat, and I will just get my coat. So this is exactly what you will look like there. Your big coat, you will take that off when you get to the peg. You will shoot in your waistcoat when you shoot the drive, which is normally a drive is about 45 to 50 minutes long. Then once you finish and you shoot in these, the whole idea of these are they've got big pockets so that you can pick the cartridges up, put them in the gun easily, and they've got this slides up here so the gun ends up into your cheek. So, and at the end of the drive you put that on, you put your gun back in the slip and you walk off to your next drive. So now what I will do is I will go through how to put the garters on and the breeks and the socks on with the wellies. So now I've picked my garters. So this is more the traditional garters, and the whole idea of the little tabs is they go over your welly like that. I personally prefer the elastic garters because I feel that it holds your socks up in your welly a lot better. But again, that's a personal preference. That's my opinion. There's lots of manufacturers, lots of makes. Allen Payne do them, Laxon do them, Bisley do them. There's all sorts of different manufacturers. So the first thing you do is you put your socks on, you put the breeks like that just under the knee. It's where they should come. So this should be a little bit free. It doesn't want to be tight. So when you kneel down, it doesn't feel really tight. So then the socks come up over like that. And then the garters go like that and go round and they pop on like that. And then what you do is you fold that down like that, and that just tags over like that, and then this comes over like that. So again, if I do the next leg, so it's there like that, and then the garters go like that, and they go like that, and then that goes over like that. And then you get your wellies. So obviously they're mine and they are the Eagles. Now they're both neoprene lined. I'm going to be honest, I think wellies do look smarter on a game day when you're shooting. I would even wear them when I'm beating or when I'm picking up. They look smarter, they're warmer, they're more comfortable. You've got the Eagles, you've got the chameaus, which are neoprene lined. They're warm, so even in the really, really cold weather, these will keep your feet warm. And then you've got the Eagles. The difference between the Eagles and the chameaus is the neoprene is slightly thicker. The Eagles have got a foot that moulds round in your foot there. So if you've ever had a pair of Eagle wellies before, you will find when you pull your foot out, the foot, it almost feels like it's, as you've worn the wellies in, it almost feels like the sock is pulling off. And that is because the foot moulds around your foot. So this is why you will find that Eagles do feel slightly more comfortable than chameaus when they've worn in and worn it. They will feel a bit tight to start with, but as they mould, they'll mould around your feet. So that, I believe, is really the two branded of wellies. There are loads of different wellies out there, but I'm going to be honest, if you're going shooting, you're spending the money on going shooting, get one of these two pairs. They are much better for going out shooting. More comfortable, better feel, better look, everything is a lot better. They do them from Eagle start at about £100 and go up to 300 or 400. Chameau are a little bit dearer. They start at sort of 230 and go up. So both of these two wellies, you've got a good price range in both of them. And then what happens is the foot goes in like that there. So if you look at how they are built so the wellies come just there. So then the idea is that goes over there and that goes like that. And this is why you don't really want to buy a cheap pair of wellies from Tesco's or something like that, because they will be smaller, they won't fit the suit. So if you look at me now, from the bottom to the top, I look synchro-meshed, as for want of a word, all the way up. So that is how you dress for a game day, and that hopefully we've covered all the different aspects of and the pricing structure of what you need to do. So bearing in mind, just a quick recap, you need breeks, waistcoat, coat, hat, flat cap. You can use moleskin trousers, moleskin breeks, but I personally would look at tweed because it is a lot more traditional, and if you're going shooting, it will make you feel part of the day out. And then a set of Eagles or chameaus. And that is, from dot to dot, that is what you need to wear on a game day, plus a shirt. The only other thing I would put in is a tie. I believe that everyone should wear a tie when they're going game shooting, and a hat like that. Or you can get a tweed baseball cap, something like that, but as long as it's got a bit of tweed in it. I hope you've enjoyed this programme. Please comment below on anything you've seen. If you do need a hand on your first game day, or you want to get into game shooting, comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and we will help you get into it. If you've not got a local shooting school local to you, then contact us at theshootingchannel.co.uk. We will put you in touch with a local shooting school wherever you are in the world. But just remember, don't buy online, don't go to a gun shop, find your local shooting school, and they will help you with the whole aspect of learning to shoot, learning how to go on to your first game day, the whole aspect of the day out that you want to go on. And game shooting is a bucket list for 90% of people out there. I hope you've enjoyed this programme. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us give you content like this. And hopefully, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.